I always have OBS running in the background. So let me put it over to 4K. Yeah, I recorded Ian last night on 3K. I won't say he wasn't happy, but he pointed it out. Over.
Are we talking XLS? Ian, over.
The very man. Over.
Yeah, no, I always, I mean, you don't run 4K, do you? But, yeah, if he's TXing at 4, he wants to hear it at 4. So, yeah, if you can do me, that'd be great, John. I'm just trying another microphone with a tweak on the EQ, so I just want to listen to it, John, and a good recording from you would be great. I don't know if you've got noise reduction on or off, but I'll see it on the screen, John, over.
Okay, do you want noise reduction off, over?
Yeah, if you can. And then I'm hearing it unadulterated, John. I know it sounds nice with the NR2 in, but it sort of clouds the judgment at my end, John. Oh dear. So I hope everybody in the family's well, John. We're getting revved up for Christmas. Me and Stuart were just talking about it there, and yeah, all's good, John. Over.
Yep, Roger. Okay, I'm killing myself here now listening without NR2, which I have 99.9% engaged always. So give me the signal when I can release it, because I have a lot of noise. But once I have the NR2 in it, it all disappears. Over.
Yeah, no, that's it. No, I'm happy. If you've got a good 20 seconds or so, that's all I need, John. Over.
Yeah, I'm looking. I have noise of 10 over, and as soon as the NR2 is engaged, I can see the noise, but I don't hear it. Over.
Oh, I don't have that kind of noise, John. Yeah, that wouldn't be good, but yeah, I'll put my NR2 on as well. I'll turn that on, and I might do a quick recording of you, John.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, I always like your recordings. Yeah, and amazing how, I don't know how you do that. We must talk about that another day, but I just leave the AGC on automatic, and at the moment it's about 68, so that's what I do. And yeah, I won't say, well, anyway, yeah, that other person, they could do with a little bit more treble. Over.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I wasn't receiving him too strong, so you were probably getting him stronger than me. But so you can't comment if you're not hearing the full thing, John. So I'll have a listen the next time. I'll have a listen the next time. Anyway, there you go. That's a video over to you, John. And my ATC. Well, on the last over, your over was about 43, John.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Well, you don't have it on automatic. Over.
Yes. No, it's on automatic, John. I put it on automatic, but it hangs around about on this band about 43, 45, John. Over.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, mine is nearly 70. So anyway, I don't mind if I have noise as long as I don't hear it. Yeah, I was around this frequency a little bit earlier on talking to Lubos, who I'm sure you've spoken to in the past. Over.
Oh yes, I haven't heard Lubos in a while. Let me think. Is he in Czechoslovakia? I think so. I know who you mean. I've spoken to him quite a number of times. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, when you hear him, you'd know it was him. And he's Oscar Kilo 1 Alpha Papa Bravo. So very good. I see, and I don't know when he got it. I'm not sure whether he bought it new or second hand. But Martin now has the RE20, the Romeo Echo 20, and it's a lovely mic. I always I've no idea what. Well, I just have happy memories of seeing many of the radio stations from the past in the States using that mic. Over.
Yeah, I have the RE20 Martin as well, but I may let it go. I'm undecided, Martin. Over.
Yeah. Greetings from John, by the way. And yeah, and then I saw the little video of Martin and the song that you sent me. Over.
Yeah, someone sent me that this morning. Somebody sent me that this morning, so I shared it round with a few guys. Over.
Yeah, Roger. And then there was that. I sent you a little clip of Steve. Now he's probably talking to Moz. I have no idea what conditions are, but yeah, I was listening to Steve talking on 10 meters. And he was talking to NX8 Tango Jim, and then I called in as well, and yeah, and it has been commented in the past that the people they don't hear the full call sign, but they hear the little bit at the end, the Echo India. Over.
Oh yes, yes. I did hear that clip. I did play it, John, but I think at the time I can't remember what I was doing, and then we've been busy all afternoon, so I didn't reply. But I did hear Steve working him as well, because he picked EBJ out as well, didn't he? Over?
Yeah, he did. It's amazing, just one or two letters, and especially if he knows you. It makes that makes a big difference. That was always the case speaking to Ron in ZL, and of course, well, he's no longer with us. But he'd hear one or two letters and he'd figure out who it was. Over.
Yeah, definitely. Ferry's the same. If you call him with Ferry, he'll just say the Kilo Alpha, the Kilo Alpha. Is that you, Dave? He's very good out.
Yeah, no, he is. The last time I saw a photo of him, he was lying on a kind of a hospital bed, but it looked. I think he was at the dentist. Over.
Oh no! Apparently, Steve sent me that photograph. He felt a bit unwell at work, so hopefully he's okay. He was in the hospital. Over.
Yeah, well, I hope he is. I do know that he puffs away like a trooper. Over.
I know. Yes, I know. That was the first thing I said to Steve when he sent me the message. We were chatting last night, and I said, well, he does smoke a lot because you see him on the videos that he does. He does smoke a lot, and the cigarettes out there in the East are a lot stronger than the cigarettes in the UK. Over.
Yeah, I was amazed. I won't. Yeah, a little bit shocked, but anyway, when we were in Turkey on our holidays in September, October, I think I won't say everyone, but most people were smokers. Over.
Well, yeah. I mean, I used to smoke, John, but I gave up 8 years ago now, John.
Well, well done. It's never too late. Although sometimes what happens, and you know this, the people they give up the cigarettes and the weight piles on. Over.
Oh well, yeah. I guess that happened to me a little bit, John. But we're on top of that now. So yeah, I can't complain, John. Too much. Just give me a second, John. I'm just going to tune up. Over.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, and at that report, 35 over. So I'll stand by for your tuning up.
Okay, I'll only be a second. Okay, there you go. That's better, John. Yeah, there you go. I'm happy with that now, John. Yeah. I was just I don't normally operate this high up the band, and I just tuned the amplifier against the antenna, John, and I've got a little bit more drive for my money, John. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, well, I'm just looking at the SWR on this part of the band. It's 1 to 1, 1 to I don't know 1.1 to 1.2. So it's not so bad, and yeah, very very little reflected power. So you probably heard the story, but if you haven't, I'll tell you. Yeah, this used to be a an antenna for the 60-meter band. But I tried it, and you know, we only have 4 channels here, and I was hearing just stations from DL. So it was one. I remember it well. It was one sunny day in I think it was in August, and I just had a kind of a brainwave. I dropped it down, and with block connectors, I made it into a an 80-meter dipole, and I pulled up one of the legs to 22 meters. And the other one goes down to about 4 meters. But it's really a cracker of a dipole, over.
Yeah, okay, John. Well, that's great, isn't it? That's superb, John. And I don't use 60 too often. I've been on there. You know, but it's not one of my go-to bands. And yeah, well, the ZS, you see, is short on 80, and it's the only band I need the tuner, and so I like to optimise things, John, and get things just right. And I could see on the amplifier, I wasn't getting as much out as I was lower down the band. So all I've done is put the amp into standby, and press the tune on the radio and tune on the amplifier, and it's given me another I don't know 50 or 60 watts on the output, over.
Yeah, well, if you're paying for them, you might as well use them and squeeze every watt out. And on your last transmission, you went up to 40 over.
Oh, well, that's good, John. Sorry, I was just looking at the meter. So on my Palstar 82K, I'm peaking about, let me just look. Yeah, hang on, John. Yeah, about 1 to 1.2 on the peaks, maybe a fraction over, John. So that's good enough for me, over.
Yeah, no, that's terrific. And the other thing is the that VK amp is working well. I'm very happy with that, over.
Yeah, I'm glad. I was going to ask you about how you were getting on with that, John, and you've got the pure signal on there, I think, haven't you, John, over?
Yeah, it's inside that big black box. So I disconnected the coupler. Now I have the as you know, the Acom 1000. And I'm not gonna sell it. I'm just gonna keep it warmed up every from time to time. Just switch it out and use it. But once you get going, once you get used to solid state amps, the way you can band hop, you do become lazy when you have to go back to a valve amp, over.
Oh well, I'll tell you what, John. This is the same with the solid state and the built-in ATU. Not that I use the ATU too much, John, because the antennas are resonant, but it's got that facility as you've just seen, and I do like it. And yeah, it's amazing, John, isn't it? You know, I can hop as you can to all the other bands. You don't have to worry about anything. Obviously, I always check that I'm on the settings are right. But it's just amazing, John. And with this amp, if I put the 5000 on, It's got two connections, so I can have two radios, John, all connected up. Over.
Yeah, that's terrific. I told you this also, but that I'm really loving that system. The way I have the two radios on the one PC now. Very happy with that. What he did. Over.
Oh well, you've got the tech in the house, John. You've got the tech guy in the house. Over.
Yeah, and he said, "Why didn't you say it to me before?" And I didn't think that it was possible. But there's when I boot up the PC, I have the two icons, one the Hermes Light and one the Anand. So I just make my choice, and I have that buffer and that's on a switching system. So if I haven't got it switched in for the Anand and it's switched in for the Hermes Light, the amp doesn't engage. Over.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be protection built in the amp anyway, John. But it's good to belts and braces, isn't it, John? I've done it before where I haven't switched the ATU, which is in bypass, apart from when I'm on 80 meters. So when I go on to 80 or come off 80, occasionally I won't switch it into the right mode. And I'll key up and the amplifier just says, no, we're not playing. There's something wrong, John. Over.
GTX?
Yeah, okay, I'll put it back to that Dave for that station. M0SKA, ON80i for ID, Dave. Over.
Yeah, ON80i, M0SKA, and good evening, Brian. I just caught GTX, MM0GTX, M0SKA. Good evening, Brian.
Yeah, good evening, Dave. And I think it's John you've got on there. I just came in and switched on. I'm not long off the ferry, Dave. So good evening to you both, gentlemen. Good signals here. Yeah, Brian, John, I'm 4 miles south of Campbelltown now. I just came off the ferry from Islay. So you're both 59 plus, no problem at all with those signals. They're both sounding very good. Yeah, I've just kind of switched on, tuned up. Goodness me, there you are. Just down from the top of the band. So, no, good to hear you, Dave. Spoke to Davey a wee bit today, and it was in good fettle. So we weren't on for long, but I had a quick chat. So just back at the ranch on a beautiful evening, and what a crossing. It was absolutely stunning, Dave, considering the weekend was horrendous. And even out tonight, the stars are out. It's just a beautiful evening. Cold, I think it's about 2 degrees. MM0GTX, I'll put it back to you, Dave, and you can take it to John. And I just didn't catch you. Were a bit quick with John's call sign there. I couldn't catch it though.
Yeah, no problem, Brian. Well, I'm glad you caught up with Davey, and you got the ferry, and it wasn't, hopefully, not a rough crossing, Brian. But well, you're back home. Well, at home number 1. I don't know. Home number 2. He's like a high-flying captain of industries, Brian, John. He's got two locations. I think the taxman's after him. Truth be known. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's Oscar November 8, Echo India, and you've got to buy his accent that Echo India means something on John's call, Brian. So give John a call, Brian. Over.
Yeah, very good, Dave. Yeah, well, I don't know about the across the seas. It's not that far. I probably wish I was in that position. John, ONAEI, MM0GTX. Yeah, caught a wee bit of the accent there, John, and good evening from Campbelltown. Over.
Yeah, very good evening to you, Brian. Nice to make contact. We have spoken before, and I think you're into, you were at one stage, I think you've got out of it now, the sidecars. And I think you lived down in the southwest part of the UK at one stage. And one more thing, Campbelltown. I've been to the other Campbelltown, the one in the one near Sydney. So you're 30 over, 20 to 30 over, Brian. Mike 0 Golf Tango X-Ray ON ATI and Company, over.
Oh, very good, John. OE8EI MM0GTX and Company also. Yeah, well, I was in, not really moved very far away from Campbelltown. I was in Glasgow for a little while. But the sidecars is correct, yeah. I had, well, I've got a friend who was very much into sidecars back in the day. And, yeah, I used to go and watch a lot of sidecar racing. I've had a wee turn on the side of the car, as you might say, but not in competition right enough, just a few laps with the lads. But no, enjoy the motorcycle racing. Still do, John. Still got the motorcycle, but it's sitting in the shed. I think I said today, the last time, I think it might have to go. There's a car on the bike that's going to have to go. They're just not getting used. The weather's been so bad here, John. Terrible weather conditions. Very bad over the weekend there over in Islay. Up to 60 miles an hour. The little mast is still down here. I've got a little 12 metre tilt over mast, so that's still down. And I'll pop that back up tomorrow because yeah, the rest of the weather is to be very good for this week. Staying about 2 degrees basically day and night. But no rain, no wind, basically, I think until the very end of the week, where there may be a little rain coming in. So looking forward to a nice crisp week. But back over Ireland at the end of the week, Dave, there's bits and pieces doing there. So back home, get a few decorations up, get some decorations outside, make the place look a bit presentable for the kiddie winkles next door and so forth. And, well, that's all about that, John and Dave. John, your signal is also, yeah, you're 10 to 20 over, without any trouble at all. Good strong audio. It's an FTDX10, John, and an M1 microphone, which Dave helped me set up with the radio that I'm very pleased with, and I'm just leaving well alone. And the antenna is an off-center fed dipole at the moment. For 80 cuts, was built it for 40, but I ended up adding a bit on, so it's about a half wave on 80 metres, so it works pretty well. I'm quite pleased with it actually, and it tunes up exceptionally well on the other bands. It's got a hybrid ballon that I built and put into it, so it works very well. It's about 40 feet to the apex and running down to about 25 feet on either end. So and it's out in the clear, John. Right, we'll put it back to you, Dave. M0SKA, MM0GTX in the group. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, MM0GTX, M0SKA. All right, so you're making the trip back. So there must be some whiskey or something involved in all that. Oh dear, very good. Well, you enjoy it. And I'm just looking. Oh, why is it not letting me do that? Okay, right. I'm just trying to forward a joke to a couple of people that I've just received that I found quite funny. But if you're a Scouser, you won't like it. So I'll send it to all the Scousers that I know, Brian. Yeah, very good. And no, you're sounding well, Brian. I don't think I give you a report. You're 5, 9, 10, 15 dB over. A bit of noise on the band tonight. I'm glad you caught up with Davey. And I was on with him a little bit yesterday afternoon, but I probably won't catch up with him now till later in the week, if then, Brian. I'm working. Last night shift Thursday, and then I'm out on the pop on Friday. So you'll probably see me in the paper on Saturday, Brian, over.
Oh, very good, Dave. I think Davey said you were out one other evening as well. Goodness me, John, this man gets out and about. I can't afford to go to the pub. That's just about the end of it. But even for Christmas, well, we might manage an odd occasion, but goodness me, it's an expensive adventure now. But I suppose it's only once a year, and even Davey might go out, I'm not sure. But no, that's all that's happening here. No, there's not too much to do. Arrived back at the house, everything's good. Cat's quite pleased to see us, so although the brother was in feeding it, and no damage to any of the other antennas. But he did say it was a good idea taking the other one down. He said there was a blow up to about 60 here at one point, and he said even on the ground it was rustling about a bit, but he didn't have to. I left it kind of guide down, so he said there was no problem there. And the last time actually I took it down, Dave, I went through the connections and found some of the connections onto the main boom. It's a hex beam, John, where they're not getting slack, but actually we're getting worn at the connectors, so I had to whip the connectors off. The chap had made a great job. Anthony made a good job of putting them on. It's the Welsh chap I got the hex beam off of, John. They were very good, but just with the constant movement, they had thinned, shall we say. So a bit of silver solar, new connections on and back on. So I did the rest of them as well. So hopefully that'll keep it good. But one just came away in my hand when I was checking it. So I was quite pleased with that. And 400, 500, 600 watts going through it. I don't think it would have lasted too long. I'm running about 400 at the moment. So I'm afraid from a valve amplifier, I came in. You lads that have got these MOSFET amplifiers, well done. I know you've got the ACOM and reserve there, John. Maybe sometime when I get the lottery win, I might push on. It'd be nice to get an amp that you can just tune up by changing the bands. It's ideal. Round to you, John. M0SKA, MM0GTX. Over.
Yeah, Roger on that, Brian. Very good, all copied. Yeah, they are very handy. The solid state amps. I got one and then I got another, and the story continued. But I was saying to Dave, I have the ACOM 1000, but I was going to sell it, and then I said no, I won't. I'll just keep it as a standby. Nice to have a standby or two in the shack. Do you ever use Campbelltown Airport? I'm just looking at it from the sky as I speak. Over.
Oh yes, I do use it now on occasion, John. But I worked there for about 15 years, so I know the place inside out. I worked along with the US Navy when they were there, John, kind of 90s up to 2000, just after 2000. So I was in there quite a while, John, so I know the place at the back of the hand. Yeah, I use it quite often, but it's a completely different place now. The whole airfield itself is privately owned. There's only the small plane coming. It can be used for bigger military exercise if required, but it's basically privately owned now, so the security is all gone. And it's a bit of a ghost town, really, apart from all the other enterprises that have now taken over most of the buildings, John. So they only use about half the runway. A little Logan Air flight comes in, like a twin-engine daughter comes in and out. It can take bigger. They open the airfield up completely, but the taxi track, the same length as the runway, is still fully open, so that can be used for any aircraft in an emergency, John. Over.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at, I'm just doing a little tour of Campbelltown Island. A terrific looking place. A great place if you either have you're well set up, on a pension, or that you have a job of some sort. But you could say that about most places. But you it must be. I wonder, do you ever go with the car or something like that down to the salt water? Over.
Oh yes, many times, John. In fact, I did a good chance for an advertisement gig. I put a little thing on just a little YouTube channel, a very basic thing by kind of accident it came around, but I've had a few views. So if you have a look at that, John, you'll see the old Fessenden site, Reginald Fessenden. Great if you're into radio in historical terms. It's very interesting. That was the first transmission across the Atlantic, John, and not to Ireland, to the UK coast, by Mr. Fessenden. He whipped Mr. Marconi. But that's another story. Very political, of course. But no, he did the first AM transmission across the Atlantic, John, there in 1900. So it's quite poignant. They go down there and set up and do some little activations and things, John. I enjoy going down, but I'm not that far away, to be honest with you, John. The crow flies to the coast. I'm only about 2.5 miles. A small hill in front of me, so I'm very close to the coast anyway, John. No?
Yep. Okay. Very good. Now I've no idea how to find that YouTube channel. Did you ever think of just putting a little link, or maybe it is there? I haven't seen it on your QRZ page. Over.
Well, no, I didn't, because it was quite by accident. There's 2 or 3. In fact, there's 2 or 3 videos of the old sites I used to work. There's 2. One was very secure, the site at RAF Mahanish. There's a little tour of that. But if you go on to ham radio at Machrihanish, if you just print in ham radio at Machrihanish, it should come up. There's a little, I think the first picture that comes up, the plinth of the old antenna, which was a massive antenna, but I can tell you all about it in a little story that I put against it. So if you fancy a look at that and a bit of a laugh, it's very, very amateur stuff, as Dave will probably tell you. Isn't that correct, Dave? Over?
No, it's not, Brian. John, you have a look at those videos. I was very, very impressed, John, with those videos that Brian's done. So yeah, have a look at them, and you'll enjoy it, John. They're very good. He's got a natural presenter built in there, and he drives around the air base, and he takes you to a few different places. He's very good, John, so worth a look over.
Okay, well, Dave, send me the link, as I always say to my good pal in Belgium, and I'll certainly take a look. Very, very interesting. Okay, well, I'll put it back to you, Dave, and I'll have one more over with. One more over with Brian. And speaking about, someone that made a big impression with me when I was a young person, and I'm sure he's no longer with us, but that was the presenter on Pebble Mill, and I think his name was Donny McLeod. So I wonder, does that bring back any memories, Dave? So back she goes to you, Dave. M0SKA, ON80I and Company, over.
Well, Pebble Mill rings a bell. I'm going to have to look up the presenter. But Pebble Mill, definitely. I remember watching that. Maybe when I wasn't at school or school holidays. But yeah, Pebble Mill, God, I've not thought about that for a long time. And I'm trying to find a link on that Brian sent to me. I know I've got it somewhere, but Brian will send you he'll give you the address you need if I can't find this. But Pebble Mill, wow, that's taking me back. He was like that. What was that other programme, Brian? Oh God, a Scottish one. Was it Andy Williams used to come on with his kilt on, Brian, over?
No, man, that was before black and white TVs, I think, Dave. MM0GTX and Company, there's something M0SKA with O&A-EI. Goodness me, I can't remember that one. It'll be back in the black and white days, probably before my time. But funnily enough, Donny McLeod just said, I can remember that. I don't remember him on Pebble Mill, but I remember him on other programmes. He used to always wear a very smart kind of tweed jacket. Was that for the same chap? I'm thinking. He was quite a solidly built fella, John, over?
Yeah, blonde hair, if my memory serves me well, over.
I think it might be right, yeah. It was either blonde or kind of slightly reddish, I can't just remember. But yeah, no, he was quite a solid. He looked like a kind of boxery type fella. Broad at the shoulders. Kind of John Wayne look about him, over.
Yeah, Roger, or a bouncer, over.
Correct, yeah. No, that's the fella. Yeah, I do remember him. Yeah, the very distinctive accent as well. But I would be just a very young lad, and I even was in Pebble Mill. I can just remember it, and no more, John. But I've just had a call, gentlemen, so I'm going to have to shoot as well. I've got a shout over for a bit of supper. Alison's over, Dave, so she did the decorations in the house tonight. So with that, John, I'll wish you a very good evening. I've just had a message sent to me. I'm out in a temporary shack, John, so it's a wee bit chilly as well. But the house is nice and warm. We've got the wood burner on and all the bits and pieces. John, it's been a pleasure. Thanks very much for letting us in and getting a quick shout with you. And I'll pass it round to you, Dave, with best wishes for the moment. And we'll catch you soon. I think there's a small hot toddy and a bit of shortbread, Dave. So it's a very Scottish supper, over.
Oh, very nice, Brian. Just before you go, give us a link to that channel of yours again. I can't find it, over.
Right, no, it was you that made the link up for me. I'll send it to you, Dave. I think I've still got it in your the message that it said that's an easy way to pass the link. So I'll send the link back to you, Dave. That was the one that you gave me, over.
Yeah, no. That's what I was looking for, but I can't. I'll send you that many messages, Brian. I can't find it, so yeah, send it back to me and I'll pass it on to John. Take care, Brian. Say hello to Alison. A good Lancashire lass looking after that Scotsman, John. 7-3's Brian, ONETI, M0SKA. Round to you.
Yeah, goodbye to you, Brian, and nice to hear you. We can talk another day, I hope, for sure. So I'm just reading Wikipedia all about Donny MacLeod, and unfortunately he became a quote-unquote silent key in 1984. But yeah, happy memories. He was a very good interviewer, and happy memories of Pebble Mill and Crown Court. But that's for another day, Brian. Take care. MM0GTX, ON80i and company, over.
Oh, very good, John. You're pushing it with Crown Court. I can't remember that one. I remember the Sweeney, but that's about it. Maybe a wee snuff younger, but no much. Older than you, Dave, though, just before you remind me of that. Anyway, gentlemen, have a good evening. I can smell that hot toddy in the background there, so I'm going to push off, gentlemen. But a pleasure. And yeah, no, we'll definitely pick it up again, John, and get a bit of a chat. But really good signal from both of you, gentlemen. Just armchair coffee. So round to do, Dave, with best wishes to both of you. 73s, have a good evening.
Yeah, bye-bye, Brian. Take care. Yeah, Pebble Mill and Crown Court. Wow. Yeah, you brought some more memories back. I did look Donny MacLeod up, and I do recognise him vaguely. So I'll have to watch a few YouTube clips to remind me. But Crown Court, yes, I do remember that, John. Crown Court, that was another afternoon programme, John. How old are you, John? You don't have to tell me exactly, but I'm 58 almost, John. Over.
Yeah, well, you're younger than me. I'm from the year of 64. Over.
64. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, you've got 6 years on me, so yeah. But I do remember Pebble Mill, and I do remember Crown Court. Yeah, I used to like Crown Court. I think they did reruns on one of the Freeview channels, John. But you may not get them in Belgium. But there you go. Anyway, right. Listen, I'm going to clear. Just before I do, did you send me the video, John? Over.
Yeah, well, you know, I left that video run, so I'll make it. I'll put it into a YouTube link, and I'll send it to you in a little while. And just to say, I am not 64. I'm from the year of 64. Over.
Oh, I do apologise. See, I'm 66, so all right. Well, that narrows the gap. I think you're about the same age as Brian then, John. So I do apologise. No offence meant, John. I don't want you crossing me off the list, over.
No, never, Dave. Now, just a quick one on the on Pebble Mill and Crown Court. So think of it like this. we lived very close to the school, which gave us the advantage of being able to come home for lunch. So school was, used to stop at 12:45 for the lunch. We came home, and my brother and myself, we always had toasted cheese with onions, and always under the grill. So and we'd rush into the living room, and those were the days of one TV, and we'd rush in, and we had these big armchairs, and there was little tables beside them. So we'd plonk our big mugs of coffee and our oh God, and our cheese and toast down on those little tables, and we'd watch Pebble Mill, and then at 1:30 we'd switch over for Crown Court, and at 10 minutes to 2 we'd get moving and run to school. Over.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? That's superb, John. Good memories. Great memories. I can remember from that time my granddad, who passed away when I was about 7. I called him Poppy or Pops, but I can remember if I see him on a photograph, I remember the face. But the most vivid memory I have of him was walking me to school at dinner time. I'd only be young, maybe 5 years old, and they used to live on a park, like a park in the town, and there was a cinder path, a red cinder path, and we used to walk down this path. And I've got this vivid memory of him in his suit, because he was of that age when men wore a suit every day, and his brogues with segs on the heel, walking down this cinder path. So I've got a great memory of that, John. Over.
Yeah, sounds lovely. Now here's I sent you a photo, and our dad, a lovely person, but he felt we were watching too much television, so you can see the thing that I have. He created that, and he used to take the plug and the socket away, so we couldn't watch the TV. Over.
Oh dear. Was he Scottish or from Yorkshire? Was it the electricity he was bothered about? Over?
Oh no, he couldn't give a fiddler's proverbial over the electricity. He had no interest in money, finances. My mother ran the show in that department. No, he felt we were watching too much TV. Over.
Ah, well, there you go. Well, he was probably right, John, although you didn't agree. Over.
Yeah, Roger. And then here's another story. I wasn't guilty of it, but my brother was fond of a drop, and we had the classic drinks cabinet, and he used to have a drink and then top it up with water. Over.
Oh dear, yeah. Well, he was always going to be found out, wasn't he? Over.
Yeah, well, he was, and oh God, I could tell you loads of stories. And then always October, November in Ireland, things weren't great, and he'd always say to us, "It's going to be a lean winter." Over.
Oh well, there you go. But good memories, John, aren't they? They're the great memories. I remember Mum and Dad. They had the like a wall unit or a couple of wall units, and Mum was very proud of this. And in the middle of there was a drinks cabinet. You pulled the cupboard door down. And that was your shelf for making the drinks, and there was a mirror at the back of the shelf and glass shelves, and I always remember there being sherry and whiskey and Tia Maria and all that kind of stuff in there, John. I used to nick the sherry, John. Over.
I could well believe it, Dave. And then the other thing was that, yeah, when he'd come home from work, so he'd come home from Dublin on the train, and as soon as he got in the door, my mother had a glass of sherry for him. So he had the glass of sherry, and then he had the newspaper, and he was, he didn't, he was in the military, but he didn't wear the military garb because he didn't have to. But as you said, those were the days when a man wore a suit, and he always did. Over.
Ah, well, there you go. Yeah. My dad never wore a suit unless it was a wedding or something. But yeah, my granddad definitely did. Even my other granddad, my dad's dad. He always wore shirts and pants and what have you. Never jeans. Never anything like that, John. Anyway, I've sent you that link. Brian's forwarded me the link that I sent to him. So you can watch with at your leisure. But he's very good actually. He's doing himself down. Is Brian? He's very good at what he does. Well, I thought so anyway. John. Right, listen, it's been lovely to catch up, John. I'm glad you've got over the flu. But I'm going to take a break. Well, I'm going to shut down actually and go in the other room, watch a bit of TV, and I'll be in bed in the next 45. Excuse me. I'll be in bed within the next 45 minutes. I hope you haven't got the flu off you, John. Over.
Oh, well, hopefully not. Now, here's just one more thing before we part on this one. So. My mother was a great fan of the electric blanket, but he wasn't. Anyway, so we have. Okay, are you a fan of electric blankets or anything like that? Over.
I have an electric. Oh, we have electric under blanket, John. Yes.
Okay, well we have a different system here, and it's kind of well known in Belgium, possibly in Germany as well. But if you can think of cherries, the little red cherries, and then the stones that are left behind. So what people do is they dry them, and then my wife makes up these pouches. How can I say? Like we call it a warm pillow. So think of a small warm pillow, but she doesn't have it square. She has it made round, and you put the cherries in, and before you go to bed, you put the warm pillow in the microwave on full power. You give it about 4 minutes, and then you rush up to your bed, and you have the warm pillow, and they are tremendous, and they keep you warm. They're great and not dangerous. And in the morning, because of your body heat, the warm pillow is still warm. Over.
Oh, I've never heard of that. I've seen wheat things like that people use for if they've got a strain or something. They put them in the microwave, and so how many? I guess the more cherry stones you have, the longer it stays warm, John.
Yeah, Roger. I'll send you a photo, but. My wife, what we do, she picks them up. They're sometimes in the second-hand shops. The people have bought them but never used them, and she rips them open and makes them into circular ones, which makes more sense for the microwave. Over.
Just have a look at your pan adapter. Did you get all that vertical interference then?
Yes, I did. Amazing, isn't it? Over.
Yeah, I thought that just can't be me. That's got to be some kind of a military thing going on, John. Oh, well, yeah. Well, I've never heard of those, John, so I'll mention them to Donna. And I do like cherries, so I'll have to start collecting and saving the cherry stones, John, ever?
Yeah, Roger, you can probably buy them in bags. But no, we never had them in Ireland. I never remember them, or the UK, anywhere else. But when I came to Germany or even Belgium, I noticed they were popular. But yeah, not all of us use them. My wife uses one. I have one. My daughter does, but my son, he's too hardy to be using the warm pillows. Over.
Oh well, he's young. He's young yet. Wait till he gets to our age, Joe. I'm just. Oh yeah, look at that. Cherry Stone heat bag. You can buy them on where are we now? Facebook. Organic Cherry Stone pillow. £25, £20, £18. Ah, yeah. So they are known, John. Yeah, I'll have to have a look for one of those.
EBJ.
Oh, very good. Well, I've never heard of that.
Roger.
See, for you to think on. Do you know any German amateurs, John? I need some information about the Ofcom, or I think I know who it is, but I want some information on how to make a complaint to the German authorities. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Good evening, Steve, as well. And what about Gunter, who comes up on the radio on the Sunday mornings? Did you ever speak with him? Over.
If it's the same Gunter I'm thinking of, I think I hear him on 40. But does he not live in Luxembourg, over?
No, not that Gunter. Another one. This guy, I think, lives near Aachen. Over.
Ah, okay. All right, yeah. I can probably find the information on the internet, but anyway, that'll do. And I think Steve has got to be EBJ. Be gentle with him, John. He's been exercising. Round to you, Steve, over.
Yeah, very good evening, gentlemen. M0SKA, ON8EI, M0EBJ. Your big signals. Hope everyone is well. Back to you, Dave.
Yeah, I'm very good, Stephen. Thanks for calling in. I was about to clear, though. And I've got to go and let the dog out. The dog's at the door. So pick it up with John for a minute, Steve.
Yeah, no worries. ON8EI. Lovely to work you, John. And nice to hear you on 10 metres yesterday, over.
Yeah, good evening to you, Steve. M0EBJ, ON80I and company. Yeah, you're 25 over with me. You're not as strong as Dave, but Dave is maybe using more power. Who knows? But good to hear you, and it was nice to hear you as well. And both of us calling in at the same time. Over.
Yeah, unbelievable. Did you see how high my beam was? That's 3 foot above my hedge. Unbelievable how it still works, John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, especially since 10 meters, and mine was only probably a little bit higher. Mine is normally about 20, 25 feet above the ground when the storm comes through. Over.
Very good, Dan. Very nice. He's a really nice guy, old Jiminy. Really nice bloke. Anyway, I hope you had a good day. I was at the salt mine today, and I thought I was going to get done about 3 o'clock, but that wasn't. It was 4:45, so yeah, not so good. So yeah, there we go. It's I got done a bit later than I thought, but hey ho, that'll do nicely. Over.
Yes, and how is Mr. Moz? Over.
Yeah, I didn't speak to him tonight. I've had company tonight, so but he's okay. Apart from one of his antennas a bit bent via a big flock of birds. They were big birds as well, apparently. It flew straight into the top of one of his yagis. They showed me a picture earlier. I couldn't believe it. Over.
Yeah, Roger. I wonder were they galas? Over.
I haven't got a clue, mate. To be honest with you.
Yeah, because Wayne is always telling me about the galas, and they eat the coax, and his coax going up to the tower is all metal shielding. Over.
Ah, there you go. There we go. Anyway, there we are. I'm not sure. Let me just see what it says, actually. Let me just see if I can read what it actually says. Right, says here, a flock of galah. Do you know what? It's exactly what it says, John. I'll forward you the picture. And Dave, O-N-H-E-I. Yeah, it's exactly what it says on the next thing. Unbelievable. Look at his top Yagi. I just sent you a message on WhatsApp. But yeah, that was a flock of galahs. You're sidekick, John, over.
Yeah, Roger, yeah, and I have to say, it's a lovely word, galah, over.
Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, anyway, I've sent you the picture on WhatsApp. You'll be able to see his antenna on the juice. Unbelievable, actually, to be honest with you. So there we go. Anyway, I'll see if Dave is back. M0SKA, M0EBJ in the group. No, he's at the dog out and he's getting a beer, probably having a quick sandwich. John, you know what he's like, over?
Yeah, or maybe he's looking to get a warm pillow, over.
Oh, well, there you go. Weather today hasn't been too bad, about 8 degrees all day. Not particularly hot, but not particularly too cold. It's still 7 now, actually, so... But yeah, I was hoping the sky off early today, John, but it didn't work, over.
Repeat the last bit, over.
I was hoping the sky off early today, but it didn't happen typically, over.
Yeah, the boss wouldn't let you, over.
Well, I was there by myself today because my mate had the day off. I had a couple of jobs done. I thought, yeah, that was done. So I got the 2 services done. Went and tried them out at dinner, 2 o'clock. They're all done the invoices. His job come in at 3. The bloke left at about 2. I'd done this other job. And that was the wrong flipping bit I had, so I had to wait an hour for the bit to turn up. So instead of finishing about 3 up past 3, it was 4:30. But there you go. Can't win them all, John.
Yeah. Yeah, and just out of curiosity, so let's say you're doing a service and you notice there's a part that needs a new part, and you order it. How quick can it be delivered, over?
Well, I've got 2 or 3 suppliers I use, and I get 2 or 3 deliveries a day off. So basically, when we get services in, John, we get them left at 7 o'clock or the night before. We get all the wheels off the car, and our van leaves Norwich at 9 and gets here at 9:30. So what we generally have, we do an MOT at 7 o'clock. That's done by 7:45. And we get the services on the ramp with the wheels off, take you about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. Make sure you don't need any brake bits. And then we order the oil filter, air filter, diesel filter, whatever we need. Got a set of pads if we need them. But the service I had in today was front and rear pads typically, but that was okay. And then another van leaves Norwich at 1. I have another van at Norwich at 3 from another firm. So I managed to catch that 3 o'clock van. So yeah, we're pretty good at deliveries, over.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's great. Now, look, I'm just looking at Moz's photo, and funny to see that, and I'm going to get one. I see that I see the DX Commander uses them as well. So he's using a thrust bearing up the pole, and then he's guying onto the thrust bearing, over.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose so, yeah. Yeah, so he's got his rotator a couple of foot from the end of the mast, then he's got a bearing on the top pole as well, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to do, and I don't know if I told you, but I have that stereo, that 4-element 4-meter boom stereo. I'm going to convert it to a 8-meter boom with 5 elements. So 1 reflector, driven element in dipole size, and then 3 directors, and an 8-meter boom. And I'm going to put it up on one of my masts, over.
Very good. Anyway, I think Dave's back. So back to you, Dave. That's Moz. Mozzes, he had a flock of, what are they called, John?
Galahs, over.
Flock of galahs go into it today, Dave, over.
Ah, I can see the top. What's that antenna at the top, Steve, over?
It's a 3-element Yagi for 15 metres. That was his 15-metre Yagi, or 4-element, or whatever it is, over.
Oh, well, he's sort of working, he's not working horizontal or vertical there, he's somewhere in between, over.
Yeah, that happened today, or yesterday. So, yeah, it was gutted. That's his homemade log periodic he sometimes uses, doesn't he? He keeps that one facing the opposite direction to the quad. So there we are. It's quite high up. If you scroll down on the pitch, I think it's the top antenna's about 65, 70 feet, I think. There you go. Over to you, John.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave the shack now. Time for bed, and have to organise my my warm pillow. But just a quick one, Steve. How is your mother, over?
She's good as gold. She went to the hospital today because she had a load of tests about 5 months ago. And everything was okay. And then she suddenly got a letter last week saying, oh, we're just following up on your test results. She said, test results? She's rung them up and said, yeah, from back in March or April, whenever it was. We need you to come up, we need to give you something, we need to double check your heart. She said, well, there's nothing wrong with me. Anyway, she went up there today and my sister, and everything's 100%. She's 91 in a fortnight. John, over.
No, she sounds great and looks great. Yeah, I speak with another few group of people to Dave, Victor Echo 6 Kilo Delta, and he's the big 9-5, over.
Very good, very good. Over to you, Dave. Anyway, good night to you there, John. Good to hear you, buddy. And we'll speak to you soon. Over to you, Dave.
Yeah, excellent, isn't it? Yeah, 95. I know my mum's 92, but unfortunately she's got Alzheimer's and dementia, and she doesn't know anybody from Adam. It's very sad, but she's still with us. But it's a very cruel disease, is that, John? But yeah, no, Steve's mum's amazing. The way she's still driving and doing everything. So she's great, isn't she? 7-3's John, and I'll speak to you later in the week. I'll be on tomorrow night, so we can catch up then again, John, if you're knocking around. But great to hear you on, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, maybe I have no idea what conditions are on the short path, but it's a while since I spoke to Mr. Moz, and tomorrow when I come home from work, I'll put the beam up to its maximum height, and so I'll just nice to speak with you, Dave. We had a good laugh and a good chat, and of course Brian as well. So I'll put it over to you, Steve. And how are conditions down to VK3, over?
Well, there's nothing on the shore path in the evening at all. Absolutely dead as a dodo. But we generally try and work on 40 metres between 7:30 and 8. At 7:45 time, and sometimes it's better. Last night it was a bit hit and miss. So me and Dave had a few overs with him. Sometimes he's S9, and we are plus. But the other night it was only in S3 to 4 we were, so very low. But there's absolute nothing on the short path in the evening at all, John, over.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes. But no problem. But anyway, hopefully I'll have an over or two, maybe on 40 meters. I'll take a listen. Okay. Bye, Dave. Bye, Steve, and back to you, Steve, for a final M0EBJ ON 80i and company, over.
Yeah, lovely, John. Good transmission. ON 80i, you're 20 over M0EBJ. 7-3 fella, all the best. Have a good day tomorrow. Back to you, Dave.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, yeah, 7-3, John. Yeah, we've had a good catch up there, pal, haven't we? And a few memories and a good few laughs. Take care, John. Don't work too hard tomorrow, and we'll catch up tomorrow evening, hopefully. 0N8EI, M0SKA. Always a pleasure, John.
Yeah, always a pleasure too. And to Steve, you can ask Steve, does he remember Pebble Mill and Crown Court? Bye-bye, Dave. Bye-bye, Steve. Bye-bye.
Steve only remembers Crown Court from when he was actually there, not the TV programme. 7-3, John.
I can't remember the programme either. Catch you later, John.
Yeah, bye-bye, Steve. Bye-bye, Dave.
7-3. Yeah, we were reminiscing about TV programmes, Steve. So, yeah, very good. We're everything's okay, Steve, and I got a bit of. I came home and we've been busy today, Steve. We're really busy, and I hadn't looked at my